We have got the One Piece Season 2 recap because both of us watched it. We haven't done this for a while. This is show versus business, and this is where we kind of started. So we're going to get back to it a little bit with the One Piece Season 2 recap, re-talk about, rediscuss, redistribute, retransmogrify, whatever you want to call it. We're about to get into this and do it again, talk about the episodes really quickly. And you know what? If you guys like this sort of thing, let us know and we'll bring a little bit more of it back. We'll try to do a little variety of things here and there. But Theo, I saw it, you saw it. General thoughts before we get into the episodes.
General thoughts, much better than I thought it was. Slow in some areas.
Okay. Now we got to remember that I have watched, let's see, 700 something episodes of the anime, read a little bit of the manga, and I've been around One Piece. I'm not like a One Piece expert, but if you want to send flames, send them my way. And Theo, what's your history with One Piece?
3 years ago, I watched the first episode. Thought that's pretty good. Then try to watch
the anime,
the cartoon, the anime. No, first I tried to read the manga because I was okay. Where's the story going? Couldn't do it. Then try to watch the anime. Went through 3 episodes, couldn't do it. So I'm just a live action guy, but I can tell season 2 is starting to get to its roots, the manga root. I mean the anime roots, because some of the things that they're doing, especially Luffy's actions, are becoming a little bit manga-esque. If that's a word.
We're not afraid to make up words here on Show versus Business.
Yes, this is awesome. What we do.
All right,
so So I may say, look, you can flame me, but I may say names wrong. I don't know who the characters are. Mr.Benja will translate. He'll be our translator for this episode, this segment of Show versus Business. Thank you.
I'm gonna get all the flame. All right, so okay, so after you finish watching season 1, guys can go back and watch our reactions to season 1. You can go back and watch our reactions to the different trailers. But after season 1, you had a whole different view of One Piece. It was interesting, novel. I remember you telling us. So going into this season 2, do you remember what you were kind of thinking?
Yeah, word is gone. They finally got to the Grand Line. It's supposed to open up to some new adventures and characters and all this stuff. And I'm there with it. And then, we reviewed the trailer and I said, oh, they're really gonna get into it. They had some interesting characters with hairstyles and colors and all the things, right? And so yeah, I was kind of interested to see where this kind of all went. And it's kind of interesting in the first episode. We'll get into it in a second, but it was kind of almost like a nostalgia throwback, even from some of the villains and stuff. And starting where it started, right? The first episode, the first season. So I was curious to see, kind of reorient myself into this storyline, and it was cool. It was cool. Now I could tell you one thing: my son got obsessed with it. So once he found, 10 years old, man, and all the YouTube, content out there, and knowing all the manga, he just couldn't. We were watching it, one night in a row, right? Because it's binge model. Netflix releases all at the same time, so let's watch it every night. He fiending like, can we watch 2 one night? When we gonna watch it again? I was like, oh Lord. So this is so he's all into One Piece, right?
So wait, that was the binging. I mean, you did that for the first and second season with your son?
No, the first season, I don't think he was fiending that much, but we saw like one night a week, okay. And my daughter too, and so we all kind of got into it. But it was like the second season, when he's all on YouTubes and all that. That's when he started going the deep dives, and now he want to spoil stuff. I know why that guy's like, no, don't tell me. Let me tell you what happened. No, I don't want to know.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh. I'm thinking, what if I was a kid? I guess I would want to know everything that I could know even before I watch it.
Yeah, that's just the thing. Yeah, and he's one of those kids. He wants to tell you everything. I said, he's just not. He does not like. Spoiler alert, man. They call him spoiler alert, man. just leave us those. Stop. Just don't talk.
And then in the manga, episode 452, what happens is
All the emperors and all this other stuff, and I was like, man, I don't want to know all that. As Luffy's no, anyway, we'll talk about it later.
so there's no trailer to watch before we really get into it. So how do you want to roll this?
Yeah, we can go briefly through. Is there anything that stood out from episode standpoint that you want to cover real quick? And I can kind of give you my overall take of, some of the episodes. And then we can maybe do a few minutes of spoiler conversation.
Well, let's just plow through kind of the episodes, I guess. And there's a we have a little synopsis here so we can find out what's important and what's not. And coming off the end of it, we were left with the grandfather, uh, one wondering. Grandfather left Luffy alone. He went on his own and said, "Hey, do your pirate thing." Luffy is now about to embark on this new adventure toward the Grand Line, where everything is supposed to be much crazier and wilder. And we're also left with the smoking character. We saw him put out the cigarette on Luffy's wanted poster. And then we get to episode 1, the Loguetown opening and Roger's execution flashback. So this gave you a bunch of lore and expanding on the whole thing about Gold D. Roger and Monkey D. Luffy and how they may be connected somehow. So that starts a little mystery, I guess. And they did a lot of lore drops that are different from the anime, and they let you know right off the bat that if you're watching this and you've watched the anime, things are about to be really out of order. They're going to be really handcrafted for the live action. So I won't say it was confusing for me, but it was kind of like, oh wow, where are they going? And what did you get from it?
I mean, it's kind of like a level set episode. So I felt like they were trying to introduce some new characters, but also kind of keep you grounded. So if you remember, I think they reintroduced Buggy. We all remember from the first season, little cuss mouth. He was cussing all over the place, which, it is what it is. That's what he does, I guess. And then obviously Alvida, who is now, I guess, took another fruit. And so she was big. Now she's small. The actress itself, she actually did the same thing. So you didn't watch the manga or the cartoon anime, that's what happens to the characters. She starts big.
That's funny because her devil fruit, the slip fruit, in the comic book, in the manga, they were like, "Hey, all my weight just slipped off when I ate the fruit," and they're like, "What?" It's like, "It can do that." It's like, apparently, even when the artist drew it out, it was just a weird thing. It's like, who's the skinny lady? And she was looking hot in the manga, and everybody, they didn't do it much in the live action, but they really focused on it a lot. Where it's like, wow, you look hot now that you're skinny. If you ever see any little things like that, like Sanji looks for like 2 seconds longer than he should, or somebody starts into a joke but doesn't finish it, they're letting you know that there's like a lot of stuff in that, but they're just not going to go into it deep in the live action.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So you caught all the little things. Yeah, Sanjay, he's a little, little ladies man. He's always trying to holler at everybody from know me to it's just like anybody shows up, man. He down for it, boy. It's like Sanjay, man. I didn't know, but I guess that's his character arc. So
Yeah,
anyway, but they introduced Smoker, I guess a cool Marine finally, because they really, I mean, the only cool Marine was his grandfather, right?
yeah,
Was it Monkey D. Garp? Is that his name?
Garp, yeah.
Yep. And so he was cool, but they no one first season kind of stood out. I mean, obviously they also introduced his friend again just to let you know he was there, but they kind of disappeared after the first episode. So the only cool guy was Smoker, and that was a cool character. So yeah, man, they kind of introduced. So it was a lot. So they're trying to bring you back into the world. They went back to where all the whole show began, where Roger D, what's his name? Roger, Goldie.
There are people who call him Gold Roger, and his name is Gold D. Roger, and a lot of people didn't recognize that in the world because they're like, "Wait a minute, he has a middle name of D," and that connects him to Monkey D. Luffy.
Got you. Yeah. And the D means something, which maybe we'll spoil later. But anyway, so yeah, they did the Roger flashback because they were actually in the same place that he ended his life. And and then they kind of introduced the new characters, which the new villains, which are the Baroque works, which quite frankly, I get, but I don't know. They seem kind of weak villain. I mean, I get it. They're like all these different powers sets and code names. And women got, I guess, the weekdays, and the men got the numbers. But it's just like, okay, sure. Someone said they were theater kids, man. That's what the Baroque works were.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Miss All Sunday. I got to make sure I'm getting the right names here because even me, I'm trying to watch this, making sure I'm doing it right. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. So Miss All Sunday was the lady with the arms shows up.
Yeah, decent power. It was kind of hard to I guess she could just make them appear and disappear whenever she wanted to. I don't know. So cool. What was that? Was that devil fruit called the arm fruit? The arm fruit? I don't know.
Actually, yeah. What is her, I don't know. I don't know the name of the devil fruit that she uses.
So people just eat these things. They don't know what it's going to give them. Is that pretty much the premise?
Right. So devil fruits show up every so often in the world in different parts, and when people find them, they're like these, huge deals. They're treasures. People hoard them, and then when the time is right or somebody finds a need, it's like, yeah, we're going to feed this person. We're going to feed this person the devil fruit, or we're going to sell the devil fruit. Whatever. They're extremely rare and extremely powerful, and somebody like Luffy got one as a kid, and suddenly he becomes somebody amazing, and yeah, they just kind of show up.
Yeah.
And when someone dies who has a devil fruit, they don't it, it it magically shows up in a tree somewhere else in the world.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. And you can eat and you can eat multiple devil fruits, right? To give you multiple powers. Is that correct?
No. I think when you eat multiple devil fruits, bad things happen.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, people tried that, um, but I forgot exactly what happens when you do that. The body will explode if two fruits are eaten by the same user.
Didn't know that. Yeah, so good
Yeah.
to know. Good to know. Anyway, so yeah, good recap of the first one. You want to keep it moving?
So let's see. Episode 2, Good Whale Hunting. So yeah, this is where we get into the episodic kind of thing. And the Going Merry has to get up this mountain, and they wrap this around a story of a whale and Laboon the whale. I thought this was kind of touching. I like the animals. All the animals in One Piece are kind of cool, and the Going Merry is an animal kind of character in itself. And they both have an encounter with this whale and this keeper of the gate. Um, wasn't too much story, but it was more character. I think that they let off in this episode.
It was brilliant. That this episode I thought was, in retrospect, it kind of set up the later, to your point, later arc, which was really emotional, right? With another animal based character. So the Laboon arc, it was more emotional than I thought it was. I like that part. I even wrote it down what he said. He said when Laboon was trying to get out and go meet his friends because they used to sing to him, and they left him, and he was always trying to leave. And the keeper, he was trying to keep him from hurting himself, and I thought it was so good. Luffy said, he's trying to bring it back, and so that the whale can remember his friends. And he said, Laboon, he said, sometimes, you know, people leave, but sometimes you find yourself in a place you've never been before, and you find people who stay. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, whoo, that hit. I
yeah,
was
man.
like, damn. And then you saw the light keeper, had a tear in his eye. I was like,
Yeah,
and that's true. Sometimes you regret the people that leave you, but then you don't appreciate the people that are there for you. And then I think that's what Luffy was trying to, highlight to Laboon. And then now he's officially a part of the Straw Hats, right? Because he painted the skull, their flag on him. But yeah, powerful story, man. It was a little episodic, little simple story because he wanted to save his friends that were inside Laboon. But it really kind of showed you, the I think that was a hint that this could get emotional, like you had mentioned.
yeah. And another difference, they didn't show how Luffy beat Laboon's ass. Like,
He did. He tried
yeah,
to.
I mean, it wasn't. It was, yeah, he punched him in the eye. It wasn't like love taps in the anime. No, they went at it, so for a minute. And he was like, "Hey, you stupid whale, you better stop it. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt this guy. You could mess up the mountain, and then people won't be able to travel. What are you doing? Control yourself." And they just had a big fight. But yeah, it was just kind of kept tame for the live action. It was good though. Really, really got the idea across.
Yeah, and also getting to that emotional arc that you had mentioned that One Piece can get to. So I like that piece. So moving on, unless you want anything else you want to say about that episode.
Nah, just they gave little hints about Goldie Roger in there too, where he was the guy, the lighthouse operator, was hugged up with
That's right. Yeah. There was some
yeah.
hints there. What's going on there? So we'll talk about more of that stuff in spoilers, I guess, and kind of people want to listen. If not, you can stop.
No, we're spoiling, right? So,
Oh, throughout?
yeah,
I thought we go. There's some bigger spoilers, right? I don't care. Did you want to reveal?
bigger, but I mean, everybody binged it. Everybody knows the anime and manga, so
Ah, okay. Okay. So hey, so I guess we didn't put that warning. Spoiler alert. Matter of fact, let's make sure people don't get mad at us. We're doing the spoiler alert, guys.
yeah.
So anyway, next one.
Episode 3, Whiskey Business. This town called Whiskey Peak. The town people throw a party when everybody gets there. Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine, they end up escaping and whatever. But the whole town's a big trap, and no no surprise there. And it wasn't too deep, but it was just pretty much a fight scene to me, and everybody got into fighting. I don't even know what to say about this episode.
Yeah, I mean, really, Zoro's the one that kind of had the feature, right? He was the one kind of beating everybody's ass, right, with the swords. The new sword. We didn't reveal the first episode. I think was when he got all his swords, and the cursed sword. There was the one that's supposed to be the best sword, and then there was something else too. So, yeah, it was all these different things that he got. So he kind of leveled up a little bit, right? So it's one of those things where he wanted to show off, I guess, and so that's what his episode was. Also, we saw Sanjay trying to doing Sanjay what Sanjay do, cook for folks, trying to get some stuff with some girls. Like he's like, hey, he was what's his name? The brother, the black guy, the black character. What's his name?
Oh, Usopp.
Usopp. Yeah, him and Usopp. Usopp. Hey, there's some girls over here, Usopp. Man, does he want to get with Nami or what, man? He's just always kind of flirting with her, messing with her on the sly. He's just like Sanjay's out here, man, in these streets, huh?
Hey man, everybody, it's and this is the beauty of One Piece is all the characters, they both have reasons. I mean, not they both, but when they pair off or they get into groups, they'll each have reasons for going with each other or against each other. And you could always like make these weird combinations where, it's like, hey, we're in a bar talking trash to these ladies, Usopp and Sanji, boom, now you're a pair. And they're together doing their thing. And it's always just funny watching how these different combinations of people in the crew pair up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I can kind of get a sense of how they're trying to, level up Luffy with hanging with Miss Wednesday, who ends up to becoming, Princess Vivi. But we'll talk about that later. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's a fine episode. I didn't really see anything too interesting. It's just them hanging out, having a good time, and then fights. So, and then we get to the reveal of who really is Miss Wednesday, right? Who we thought was a villain is actually going to be someone potentially on their crew, which was cool. So that was good.
And if anybody's tracking, a lot of people didn't like that she was dark skinned. Um, yeah, but given her history and the people and everything else, and the idea that the manga, and the anime were trying to get across, it makes sense. So we'll get to that later when we discover more of her history. But you'll see why she makes sense later on. So I didn't have a problem with it.
Sharitha
Yes.
Chandran. I like her. I think she's a cutie. So, but she was in a bunch of other stuff. She was in Internals. I guess I didn't see her in that. I don't remember. She was in Bridgerton. So yeah, she's been around for a minute.
She can cry at the drop of a hat, which is I thought was awesome.
Hey man, she cuter than me, so it's all good. she she keep doing her thing, man. Keep her in there. So, but I get it, everybody. She kind of reminds me of the actress. Remember, Bend It Like Beckham actress back in the day?
Oh yeah, yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah, she looks like kind of like her. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, but hope. So yeah, it seemed like it was a basic one, just to kind of introduce the character, set the scene. So fun facts: Zorro actor asked to bring his Japanese stunt team from other series live action. Okay, thanks, Eddie. Yeah, that makes sense. I think his dad was a stunt performer too, right? I forgot the actor's name.
His dad was some. His dad was somebody big. I forgot who. I don't want to get it wrong, so I won't say.
He's a good actor because when you see those YouTube videos of all the cast together, he's always laughing, having a good time. But on the show, boy, that dude will not crack a smile, man. Very rarely. So I was like, "Hey, there he is." But then when he gets very serious on those YouTube videos, oh, there's Zorro. Because I said, "That's the same guy that plays Zorro. Get out of here."
Yeah, man. When he still the best scene of his was when the guy from the first season, I forgot his name, the evil Marine kid, he stepped on the food from that little girl, and Zoro picked it up and ate it off the ground. And they're like, "You're eating that?" It was delicious.
Yeah, who's the guy that's his nemesis? The guy with the big
Mihawk.
sword. Was it?
Yeah, Mihawk.
Okay, Mihawk. So he showed up briefly in I think one of these episodes, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
He was dreaming about it.
yeah, he's trying to get prepared for him. So, but hopefully we'll see that again. I mean, it's so much. It's like, ugh, like you said, so many characters. It's they're just preparing for stuff, right? Everybody's preparing for somebody.
Yeah, and trust me, they are plowing through this stuff fast.
Oh, they are.
Yes, they are plowing through so much, and like characters that normally wouldn't have run into each other. They're right. It's told at this point. People who were watching it, who had know the anime and the manga, it's so well stitched together because they're like, well, let's use this character, let's put him here in a way that doesn't disrupt the story and the lore, but would make sense. Let's show them earlier than we would have normally shown them. It's they're moving a lot of stuff around, so when you're watching it, it kind of throws you off. But then a second later, you're like, okay, that makes sense. So all bets are off in terms of what the live action is going to do, which makes it interesting for people who know the story but are still watching.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like they're trying to, I mean, look, these actors can't be playing these roles for decades, let's be honest. So it's kind of like they're gonna have to kind of, especially how popular it's getting, I don't know. Netflix maybe can do this for what, 7, 8 years, if that. So yeah. Yeah, yeah. Someone says no flashbacks. Eddie says, let it be, they can make it super quick. I guess you're right, because isn't this a whole books where there's just flashbacks of different characters and what they do?
Yeah, so okay, like that character Dragon showed up, right?
Yeah.
Remember they were talking about him?
Yep.
He showed up and stopped Smoker from hurting Luffy anymore. And yeah, Dragon, his whole thing is like totally off the books. Nobody runs into him for ages. But right now it's like, hey, how can we get Dragon in the story, start letting him know that he's an important character without having this it seemed like a random character show up later. If we can seed him earlier in the story, have him break up, yeah, and the whole breakup with the fight between Luffy and Smoker, that was like episodes of him trying to escape. You just throw Dragon in there, and it's like, hey, Smoke guy, quit playing around. It's like, boom,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Luffy, you escaped. See? Yeah, you're done. So for this, because Smoker is too powerful for you right now. So you gotta keep it moving. I get it.
yeah,
Okay, so yeah. So now they got into the episode 4, Big Trouble in Little Garden. So I think they were there for 2 episodes, episode 4 and 5. We can probably put them all together.
okay,
But
yeah.
what are
Nami's
your
illness basically got him there.
yeah, it was yeah, Nami got
Or,
go ahead, sorry.
okay, that's jumping ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Usopp, really that's kind of his episode arc, right? How does he level up? I guess that's kind of how I look at it. Meaning the dueling giants, Broggy and Dory, I guess. Was it Brogy? Brogy and Dory. Yeah, and again, what they're trying to figure out, like and so Little Garden is kind of like this prehistoric place where dinosaurs roam, and everybody's kind of just figuring out what's going on in this place. It was okay. To be honest with you, I didn't that this part was a little slow to me a little bit. I mean, the dragons and I mean the sure, it was fun. The giants, yeah, the giants were a little okay. It was like he's dead, then he got turned to stone with the from the Baroque folks, but then they both lived at the end. I just didn't get that part. It was just like I thought you were dead. What happened? I'm alive now. We're good. Let's go keep fighting. I was like, okay, so what are we doing here? But I get the use up of it all, trying to help him be brave and level up. But also, I like the fact that they paired Luffy with Princess Vivi, who is more of a politician and is a little bit more cautious, with Luffy, who's just like, I want to ride a dinosaur. Woo, let's go. And so it's like, teaching him, there's different levels of leadership. And I like that aspect.
Yeah, fun fact, Luffy also beat some dinosaur ass.
He's just always doing what Luffy does. Huh? And that's when it got a little manga-ness for me, this whole we are gonna fight a dinosaur. You could tell, or he'll put his hands up and like this. He's like, okay, that's from the manga, I'm sure, or from the anime. He's just, no human being is doing that. So it was, yeah. And then when Sanjay kicked that now that was funny. He just went up there and just kicked him. He just jumped up there and kicked the dinosaur's head with a crack. Dang, Sanjay. Oh man, that's funny when he starts. I love the character, man, because it's like he only uses his hands to cook. I don't think he ever touches anybody with his hands when he fights, does he?
No.
Yeah. So that's what he does. His hands are for cooking. That's it. But do that? Well, can we spoil? Does he ever use his hands in what you've seen so far?
Not that I remember.
It's got to be something super special.
No, it's funny. There are episodes where he's hurt his hands, and it damages him because he can't cook. But even though he can kick, it's like, dude, you can still kick, and he's like, my hands, my hands. So, yeah, being that he can't cook is the bigger issue.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see there'll be episode, the final scene or final, I guess storyline. He finally uses his hands. He has to, and you find out you don't want them hands. Like you thought them feet were dangerous. Oh, you thought I'm really right-handed.
Princess Bride.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, good stuff. Anything else on Little Garden that you thought was interesting? I thought the character go ahead, sorry.
One thing I don't know if they pushed is that the numbers that they have are based on their rank.
Oh, didn't know.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, when the higher the lower the number, the closer to 0 the rank is, the more powerful and the higher rank they are.
That's why I kind of got a sense. But what about the that's for guys though? What about the women?
The women just go along with, they get paired up with the guy.
So if they're at a guy who's a number 2 or 1, that means that she's pretty powerful too.
Yeah, whoever's paired up with them is supposed to be at that rank as well.
Well, Miss All Sunday, who's her pair?
Did they not mention it? No, she's yeah, you would have seen it. It's 0.
Oh, well, he's the top guy, so that's her. That's
yeah, because they mentioned that towards the end. They didn't say what number she was, but towards the end when she was talking to him, they're like, yeah, I've been working with you all this time.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mr. 3 wax. That was kind of interesting, kind of taking the wax. I was gonna put people in wax at the end, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So, but other than that, yeah, I mean, just don't let him. Now, who's that little girl? I forgot. Who's that little girl that was she Baroque wrote?
Yeah, Miss Golden Week, who does paints. So
Golden Week?
Golden Week.
Golden Week? Oh, so
yeah, like Golden 7 days, Golden Week. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she's Mr. 3, the wax guy's counterpart.
Got you.
Yeah. So while he was doing his thing, she was just making sure that um, his plan was going to go to was going to go as it should.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, she was cool. But what's the guy with the booger guy's name? What was his name? Mr.
Number
uh,
5.
Number 5. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
nasty.
So yeah, it's technically not boogers that's his power, but any part of his body he can make explode.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. See, they don't really explain it. Yeah, I guess in the manga and the anime, because they say it like 20 times. So you know exactly how their powers work. And the girl who can change her weight, they kind of hinted at it, but it wasn't clear. But I thought now that's a cool power, right? You could just change, your weight and you can fly, or you could be, like a ton and just break someone's neck when you put your foot on them. So I love it.
Yeah, and when the guy was drinking the beer and he exploded inside him,
Yeah.
you remember how he was saying, "Yeah, my earwax is slow acting, so I put my earwax in his beer and exploded later when it mixed up in his stomach."
Oh wow. Sheesh. The Baroque team is rough. Okay. Yeah, I still don't understand how they relate to the story. I guess they work for Mr. Zero. Is that how it is? And then he wants to control the Grand Line, basically, and he uses the Baroque crew.
So this whole Baroque, and look for, if you can catch a little Easter egg. Look for the little BW symbol. Sometimes it's written on people's jackets. Sometimes it's written on like the back of their in their cut in their hair or something like that. But you have the number agents, which are like the first 13 or so, and then everybody else is just one of the hundreds or the thousands of other officers they have. So there's a whole conspiracy, world building kind of thing that's happening underneath the surface of the show, where these Baroque Works guys are trying to do their different machinations and plots and plans and change the course of pirate life in the world.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, they're not getting to all that, but there's always a spinoff.
There's a lot of dumb stuff that just seems like one off or weird, but if you watch and look into it, it's really actually part of the bigger story. So every little thing in there, wanted posters in the background, the food they eat, because they'll mention a food, right? Like, hey, you have food from such and such, and you're like, okay, whatever. That food might be something specific to a certain island that only some Baroque Works agents are supposed to be eating, and it might give an Easter egg hint. It's deep like that, but you don't need to know it.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Mr. Benja. I don't
Yep.
need to know it, guys, just so you know.
Yeah.
So episode 6, 7, and 8, I guess that's all the Drum Kingdom kind of storyline. So you want to just
Yeah,
put them all together? So,
we
or
got it.
Drum Island. So yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. So obviously they had Walpole, who's kind of like the villain there, Drum Island, and just a terrible leader. Just terrible, very selfish guy, the big mouth. And they also did the reveal. The only other person we saw actually eat a dragon fruit was Luffy. Right, it's the second time we saw someone eat one and become something different. So Wopo was somebody we saw gave backstory into Vivi, and her dad and how he rules versus Ropol. We gave a little bit of understanding of Drum Island and these doctors and what that all means. But really, this is the I guess the what's his name? Tom Chop. What's it? See the reindeer, the
Tony,
talking reindeer.
Tony Chopper. Yeah, Chopper.
Tony Chopper, man. It was a rocking reindeer. As Luffy says at the end of one of the episodes. And so I didn't get this character right to I saw it in the trailer, and then the internet blew up. Oh, this character is the greatest character ever. I'm like, I just don't get it. The talking reindeer? What the hell? But they go into his backstory, man, and I must say, Mr. Bench, that was some, whew, that was up there, man. Emotional backstory. I'm sitting there watching my kids, and we're all like, "Oh wow, this is good." just tearing eye. We just like, and I was like, "Dang, this is better than I thought it would be, man." For a character that was so weird looking, but the storyline was just so powerful. So I don't know, where do you want to start from here? I mean, you know, just a great character, man. I mean, at first he comes off as like this little kind of a, kid that just kind of whiny little creature. but it's so cute and the way they drew him and the voice. They so they draw you in. They know what they're doing. But then they start diving into like he just was a regular reindeer and just had to eat some that. So he was bullied, and the only person that liked him was probably this doctor who was just trying to do good in the world and heal his nation. And man, I don't know about you, but I even caught the parallels to what's happening in the U.S. right now. I was like, damn, I don't know if they caught that. I mean, it was so about how he wanted to heal the nation
Yeah, yeah,
and what that meant.
yeah. And what Paul when he got rid of all the doctors and basically all the doctors that were in pink, those were his personal staff, and he killed, got rid of, or exiled all the rest of the doctors in the nation. So country started falling apart to sickness, and he was the only one. Yeah, they were the only ones who could heal anybody, and if you got sick or something went wrong, you were left under their care, and it was only the witch and Heroic
Yeah, Dr. Reen. Yeah.
who escaped, and they were still being hunted. So yeah, it's just interesting that you had you know that's even a story plot point that you would make, and it just I don't know, it really worked for me, and I loved it.
Yeah, how did it compare? So, reason why they had to go to Drum Island because Nami got sick, right? I guess did she eat something? I guess on the garden island or something, and on the little garden. So they had to go. So I guess they had the what it was called, the little compass place that go from island to island.
Log post, yeah.
Yeah, log posts. So they had to, each log post just gets you to the next island, which is dumb. So basically, you would never get to just got to go to the next island and see what adventure you have there. So they had to use that log post just to get to Drum Island. So that Nami could get healed to meet the Dr. Reen, and then that's the one who treats her. So it was just her, and then I guess Hurlick is the other doctor. They're the only ones left on that island, and so Hurlick obviously, basically, trained and helped Chopper, get to his next level. And Dr. Reen was, in theory, the better doctor, right? That can really help people. So, whereas, would you say Dr. Hurlick was more, Robert Kennedy Jr. esque in his belief in medicine and what can heal you? You just need to eat more protein.
Yeah, that's he's like Tony Robbins, and just kind of yeah, hey, feel better, you can do this, and yeah, a lot of his cures weren't really cures. He was trying to, I think what they were hinting at, what it seemed to be from this live action, was they were kind of hinting at the heart of the nation, or Drum Island, needs needs healing as well. It wasn't just the technical work that the the lady was doing. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree. Yeah, good point. That's a good point. Wow, good storytelling. I mean, it's all the weirdness, but that's is driven by character, man. You see the dichotomy of what it means to be a doctor. You can be heal the body, but then heal the spirit, and you need both. And so that's what Herlick was about, right? Because he said he became a doctor because he was healed by these cherry blossoms that, really kind of gave him inspiration and chose him on that path. And he may not have been the most technical best doctor, but he knew what would heal his spirit. And so yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. That actor, I had to look the actor up. I mean, character actor, you probably saw him a few things here and there, but nothing phenomenal. But he played the hell out of that role, man. It was so good that I was like, who is this guy, man? It's just like,
It's funny. It's his acting started off slow for me, but I see what he was building up to when it got like partway through. I see how it was building up, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." Okay, and I just kept seeing it, the intensity. Not, I wouldn't say lying to Chopper, but trying to steer Chopper in certain directions. How he was acting through it. I was like, man,
man, and then that's the part. And I was going to ask you. That's why I was waiting for this. So Chopper was just doing the best to save his only friend, right? And so he saw that mushroom that the doctor told him about. So he went off on this adventure to go find his mushroom and came back all beaten up enough. Did they have a whole arc for him finding that mushroom, or was they just never showed that even in the manga or in the
It wasn't terribly long, but it was the whole thing of, yeah, I have to go out and find the doctor this mushroom, and it was kind of like, well, if he doesn't find it, that's fine. If he does find it, that's fine. If he brings it back, that's fine. No matter what Chopper would have done, the doctor was gonna the doctor was gonna enact his plan. You know what I mean?
Mm. Well, yeah, you can kind of get a sense that that's kind of what he was working on, right? Because Dr. Reed released it. He had a very specific way of how he wanted to heal this country, and so which was revealed later. We'll talk about in a second, but yeah, that was powerful because it was like But I felt like he kind of did Chopper wrong, man. Let's be honest, man. He led him to believe something that. And he did it, so basically Chopper comes back with the basically almost, hurt himself and everything just to save his only friend that cared about him, and he's just because he believed what he told him, end up giving him a mushroom that was going to kill him in an hour. And so and then that's when he said, okay, I guess I gotta hurry up and do what I was going to do anyway.
Yeah, when he was like, "Oh, well, let me get my explosives together." That dude, I promise you, my heart was kind of like hurting at that point because I saw him getting the explosives, and I know the story, and I'm like, oh man, once he turns the page and he's all happy and points to the skull and crossbones, because it's one of those things I did make a connection with the doctor having, the doctor and the poison icon of skull and crossbones and the pirate flag. He's like, yeah, the pirate flag is the greatest thing, and it's got the skull and crossbones. It can save anybody, it can do anything.
And Dr. Reen tells us she's like, straight no chaser. You idiot. You idiot. And then he was like, no, and the pain, the only friend and the pain he felt. So I do feel like the doctor kind of did him a raw deal. You're gonna leave that guilt on someone that you're training to say. I know he was going to do his thing anyway, but it wasn't. I guess he didn't think Doctor Reed would tell him the truth, right? So maybe that was his only saving grace. But when he found out that he was responsible for killing the doctor, but the doctor was dying anyway, right? I think he was sick anyway. But still, it accelerated, and you had that guilt on his son. But yeah, man, when he went in there, whew, that was good, man. Because even now, I'm still thinking about. He said, "When does a man die? Does he die? In his sickness? Does he die? Takes poison? Does he die when they got arrows?" He said, "No, when you're forgotten." And I was like, "Oof." So yeah. So anyway, the Laboon arc kind of set us up for this arc.
Yeah, and there's also that double meaning of, he wanted to find the cure all, and what cures all. It's like, well, you could say that death cures all, and that everyone everyone's dream, like the pirate flag, everyone's dream is technically death. And
Ooh.
looking at it from that level, because I did the first time I went through it, I was like, okay, cool, that's a strong story. But then the second time I was watching through it, I was like, yeah, this whole thing about escaping through death, sacrificing myself, my dream is over. This is where I'm dying. Now, here's your dream, and it's based in my death. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of heavy stuff there looking at it from.
Yeah, I think it also, but I like to think that it was also because he said, when does a man truly die when he's forgotten? So he felt like his sacrifice would, like you said, in his death. It wasn't just his death, but the pains he went to help other folks would be remember other folks because that changed Dr. Reem. Let's not forget the one. So even though she knew he was terrible, he wasn't a good doctor. It changed her heart enough where she was willing to take in Chopper, enact his plan, do all the things that she was like, I ain't doing shit. I'm just doing me. And so I think that was his ultimate goal. And to your point, yeah. So it's like the sacrifice he made was to kind of help his country and then change the minds of others. So yeah, man, the actor who did that, man, even now I'm still getting a little choked up about it. It's like, man, that guy, he did a phenomenal job, man. And so, and Chopper, and then, they kill you because Chopper is so, looks like a little kid and He's crying and no, and he got tears in his eyes and all that stuff. And then he even showed the straw hats. They all sitting there crying too. And the doctor he tells his story, so it's like he got no choice but to be sad. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. So good storyline, man. I mean that now I see what you mean, and that gives me hope to continue this storyline. It's just a lot of goofiness you got to get through, but
Yeah. I
man,
can't
that's
even no
yeah.
justification for goofiness.
That's no justification for this goofiness. There's no justification, but man, if he can do that, so anyway, and then Dalton, the side character, I guess I don't even know why he turns into a Wolverine. They didn't explain, or a werewolf. They didn't explain that. He just, I knew he was somebody important because I knew he was going to kind of the I guess the captain of the guard. I
Mhm.
knew he was going to turn into something special because they kept highlighting him. But he was kind
Yeah.
of like a treasury character. It was like, so he's like always there, but not really. So is he somebody that becomes important later? I guess he's going to take over Drama. That's it, or we will see him later.
Well, you remember from Vivi's flashback, right? When Vivi was a kid?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was in it. Yep.
Yeah, so he was in that flashback and witnessing what was happening way back then. And Baroque Works was kind of in the background setting all this stuff up. Like, hey, we can take over this island, we can do this, we can do that, and we need you, Wapol. And, there was this whole conspiracy and things working together, right? Machinations, as we like to call them. And even back then, Dalton was kind of like on the outs because, like, yeah, I'm supposed to be head of the guard and everything, but this dude smacking kids around, and now I got to apologize and
Yeah,
kind
I
of try to
forgot. She
set
did get
things straight.
smacked. He smacked the crap out of her. I forgot.
Yeah, like, bap, look, kid, you can't punch a whale, but this kid, get it, get a
Catch these hands, kid. Shut up.
bap, rainy E for everybody.
So anyway,
But
interesting,
no, but
man.
you asked if he was gonna have more. Yeah, the reason he was able to actually fight and defend against everybody because he had one of the animal fruits, bison
Oh,
fruit,
okay. So he had
and
a flip. He had
th-
a dragon fruit. Yeah.
yeah, there
Okay.
are a couple
Devil
characters
fruit.
that
Excuse me.
specifically turn into animals, or from animals to
Whereas,
human-isk
yeah, which is
characters.
Chopper turned into but it was weird. He's a reindeer baby kid, then he turns into this, this big dude, muscle dude. So it's kind of like, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and that's one of
Whatever the
the
story needs him to be. Whatever the story needs him to be.
benefits of the animal fruit. You can. It's usually not just one variation of an animal
Okay,
hybrid. You
gotcha.
usually get other hybrid forms or
Okay.
whatever.
So he ends up
Uh,
going off with the crew in the last episode, and living his life, as a doctor and being a dream and being a better doctor. Obviously, there's a spoiler alert to what's in those little balls and stuff like that. So, maybe you want to.
those little
I'm sure.
balls.
Remember, he had those little balls at the end. He said, "What's that?"
Oh
It's
yeah, that'll come up later.
okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I almost forgot about that. It was so kind of off the cuff.
Yeah, you feel like they're gonna do something. So
Yeah, so this was the one where they, at least for me, kind of changed the vibe of what pirates are starting to mean for people. Because in the beginning, nobody wanted to let them in because they were pirates, and Luffy was all like, "No, we're good pirates. Why don't people accept us?" And that's Vivi did her political thing again, where she was like, "No, let me handle this. Let me talk through this, and they'll let us in. You can't just go around punching people. Pirates are we're called pirates or whatever." But yeah, um, so yeah, that whole thing about what it means to be a pirate is going to be a recurring theme. And yeah, it
I
was just
thought
strong. And
yeah, it seemed like a pirate, at least the way they're defined is someone who goes after their dreams at all costs. I mean, they all
right,
kind of refer their dreams, Chopper's dreams to be a doctor, right? And so,
yeah, but
and
that's
then
not how it goes.
obviously, huh?
I was about to say, but that's not how it comes across to everybody.
Yeah, I get it. So, yeah, because we know pirates for a different thing here in the States, but I get it. It's this going after your dreams at all costs. So Dr. Reen obviously enacts Dr. Herlick's vision, which is basically make a big cherry blossom for Drum Island in the sky give everybody hope, and so which was sweet. So yeah, so that was kind of the end of that. They go off on more adventures, and I guess the big reveal is who is Agent Zero for Baroque. This guy named Crocodile who looks like Captain Hook. So I guess he's a big deal, right? In the whole okay. So he's gonna be a key character in this whole series, right?
Yeah, and yeah, you remember him? Well, you remember him talking on the phone to Sanji a while back.
What was he talking
When,
to him about?
when Sanji found the house.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Sanji found Mr. Three's little safe house and was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And starts talking on the phone with Mr. Zero, and
Okay.
that's kind of what blows the whole thing up because all of a sudden the Straw Hats all now have information that they really shouldn't have. That there's somebody behind all this.
Gotcha. And so now they're like a power now. The Straw Hats, these goofy group of folks. So Eddie's saying here that Luffy, they had to kind of slow down his fighting stuff a lot because they make him too much of a Mary Sue and too strong. So is he pretty strong in the comic book? Like you said, he beats dinosaur ass, he beats whale ass. Seems like he's beating everybody ass in these in the anime. So is he too strong in the cartoon in the anime?
Well, you can't just. It would be. I think there would be too much of him beating ass. I mean, you like the fight with him and Wapple wasn't really much of a fight, but in the anime, it was like, hold on a second, man, I'm about to do this dude up, and you saw Wapple's power, you know, at its fullest, and then you saw Luffy's power at its fullest, and you've just got no time to scale that power and to show it going up and down. You know what I mean? It's just too much to go through. Even with the fight on with Mr. Three and the Wax, it's like that whole statue fight. There were giants involved. It was just a big, drawn out thing. It's like you just don't have time to show Luffy's full power because it you need so much episode to kind of go through all of it.
Gotcha. So basically tone it down a little bit just to, from a business aspect, right? Because it probably is a lot to go into and convey, and also the time factor. It would take too much to get into it. But I did like the fact that that was the one also he learned to, they kind of you could tell they were trying to pigeonhole his learnings of what it means to be a leader. I need to calm down. I don't need to, just go in straight beating ass. I just gotta start thinking first. So that was the whole VV of it all, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's like every crew member they add on, it's like, hey, you're crazy. You just come in beating ass, and that's like your pure raw emotion. But we're going to trust you. And then you'll notice a little while later, because they trust him as captain, he turns around and will trust them with whatever. It's like even on a simple level, it's like, yeah, I don't care what Sanji cooks, it's going to be good. Yeah, I don't care what Vivi says, it's going to be politically correct. Yeah, I don't care where Nami takes us, she's going to show us in the right direction.
Yeah, there's some good leadership lessons in that because you can't do everything, and so as a leader, you're the one inspires people and finds the right people to get on the boat, and that's what Luffy does. He gets the right people on the boat, and because you could tell when he's looking at something, you should be on my crew. He just puts the team together, and then he don't do anything. He's but when they
Sits
need him to
sits
step
on the
up,
mast, yeah, sits
yes,
on
on the mask,
the head.
wee, wee. But when they need him, that's when you step in there and beat some ass. So yeah, so I think
Yeah,
that goes to show you, and then you gotta learn how to let your team do what they do best. You can't interfere,
yeah.
you know,
And
because you don't know how to do it.
exactly. And one quick thing that they kind of gloss over, there's more of it in the manga and anime, obviously, but Luffy fights with his team members. It happens just regularly. I mean, not just arguments, like actual, you know, oh, you gonna try this and we'll fight. And he and Eddie mentioned that he got in a fight with Zoro that they glossed over, and it would be hard to explain how you can have crew members fighting with each other and still be together as a crew without the long drawn out. No, there's a lot that built up to it. There was a lot of reasons why it came to an impasse, and then they're fighting in this way, and it worked out. And then Nami left, and Nami came back, and then Usopp did this, and then they didn't talk for 10 episodes, and then Usopp came back, and Yeah, there was a whole big fight with Zoro, like over who was strongest or whatever. That
Who
got cut.
won?
Huh?
Who won? Luffy?
Luffy. Yeah. Luffy beats ass. Just remember that.
That's all you need to know. Luffy will always win.
Beats that ass.
Is it because he's just the most committed and the most crazy? He just does.
He's committed to the fight. I mean, he doesn't care if he gets hurt. Doesn't care if he loses his life. Doesn't care if who else gets hurt. A lot of times, like the damages incurred or who finds out. He just has no care. It's like, this is my passion, and I will fight for my passion. If I'm going to fight, I'm about to fight for it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Dang. And I think the actor that plays Luffy, he said that. Oh no, did you know that they have a podcast? I don't know if you listen to any of the podcasts that
Did
he
not
did.
listen to the podcast, but yes, I knew about it.
Yeah, so he said, he said really, he said technically no one can really, Luffy is almost like an ideal. And everybody is kind of like, trying to live up to the ideal of what you're fighting for, your passion. And so that's what they're all following, their passion, not Luffy. And so by just doing what Luffy says and doing the best that they're capable of doing, and so he said, so really I'm playing like an ideal. And he said, sometimes I have to be inspired to be like Luffy, right? And so I think that's the goal, because you're right. You can't, no one can be that. I mean, someone can, but if you can just be that focused and that one-minded and focused, you can do anything almost. So and his powers ain't the most, powerful. I mean, he just right? He doesn't have, I'm sure there's way more better devil fruits, right, than what he has.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah, his power works.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, anything else you want to say about this, Mr. Benja? So you're loving it, right? You're a fan. I mean, obviously, this is the live action. When you rank the manga, the live action, and the anime, where would you fit the live action?
The live action is doing it for me.
What?
Um, but I couldn't do it without the anime. The anime is just so long, but the anime does win out. The anime wins out, but the manga is really doing it. I mean, the live action is really doing it for me.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm a fan. I mean, like I said, the little garden was a little slow for me, but the chopper made it worth it. I was like, okay, this is what you were talking about. So now I get it. I said, this is a good storytelling. You know how you like, oh, this is going to get good.
Yeah, that's like where the budget went, it seems. But
obviously, they even got Peggy Bundy from from Man with Children.
yeah,
That's some money, man. You didn't get no character actor out here, man.
yeah,
to
basically.
play Dr. Reem, man. They had to pull the crates, man. Let's say, who can come play Dr. Reem? So
Yeah,
some of
Jamie
these
Lee
a lot of these
Curtis
actors,
wanted to do it, but it didn't work out.
I said it again.
Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to do it, but it didn't work out.
Oh, is that? I know Eddie said that, but is
Yeah,
that something you heard too?
no, she was campaigning for it.
Oh wow, she likes the show like that, or just
Yeah,
her
yeah.
team? Her
Somebody
team.
somebody put her on the show a while back, and she was like going ecstatic when it got announced.
Dang, that's messed up. So yeah, she would have been good in that. I mean, she just need an older, skinny white lady. You can get it because you gotta wear them pants. You can't get just anybody to wear them 70s pants and platforms. So yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, because I'm trying to think, there's not really a lot of actors we know in there. I mean, in the show. I mean, the guy that plays Crocodile, he was in what's his name? I forgot how you say his name. He's the drunk. He's like Dungeon and Dragons guy, but he was also in True Lies, not True Lies, but what's his name? Who plays Crocodile? Who plays Crocodile? He's like a little nerd guy. He's played by Joe Manganiello. I'm gonna mess it up. Manganello. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Still,
Okay.
nobody acts better than Buggy. Anytime Buggy comes on, it's just on point. The the clown captain.
I guess he's just a little potty mouth for me. Jeff Ward, yeah, that's the actor that plays him. So,
Every time, I just love it.
oh yeah, he plays his role for that. I like his grandfather. Who's his grandfather?
Oh,
Garp.
Garp.
Yeah. See if he's anybody I remember. No, I don't know him. Vincent Ray. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of character actors I never seen
Yep.
before. So it's not like, every once in a while they're bringing some ringers from America, but for the most part, these are oh, thank you, Eddie. Eddie's pushing it out, man. Deathstroke. Yeah, thank you. He did play Deathstroke in Zack Snyder Justice League. So, yep. So yeah, so like I said, they just find the best actors to play these weird roles and seeing what they do. So I love it. Mr.Benja, we did it, man. We talked about One Piece
Yeah,
in
yeah.
one sitting.
We don't. Yeah, we didn't do 400 episodes. Yeah, we weren't. We didn't totally time this out, so we went a little longer than usual. But it worked out. It worked out
It's fun, man. It's fun. It's for the algo. It's for the algo. So
for the kids, man. For the kids.
James, cut it up, flip it. You know what to do. What's that?
Yes.
Cut it up, flip it,
Rub it down. Oh
no. Let's get it. Anything else you want to talk about it? How would you rate this season?
I do think the first season was stronger. It was more organized and it just flowed better to me. But this season, I do respect for the amount of stuff that they put in it and the amount of movement that they did. And I was about to poo poo on it until, like they said, those last 3 episodes, you know, and even corny ass, Whoopall, who is corny and annoying in the manga and anime too. It's like, okay, they didn't make him too unbearable.
Yeah,
you know,
all right. Yeah,
smacking kids. That was the best part of his acting.
Vivi, catch these hands.
Yeah.
He said, "You're a terrible leader." So you terrible catching these hands.
Get out of here, kid.
So what was your grade though?
Oh, I did grading of the season. Okay, well let me take it back. I said the first season takes it into that unknown S rank area where something just blows it out the water. Totally didn't expect it. So what are they going to do for the second season? Second season, I'll drop it down to an A minus.
Okay.
So the second season comes in at an A minus. Really did a lot of what it was supposed to do, but a little disjointed. Things were happening quickly. Some of the visuals weren't as, crisp and nice as I would have wanted them to be, but it did its job. So it stays in the A territory, but I give it an A minus.
Okay. Just cut to the chase. B plus. I felt slow in places. I like the beginning, kind of reset because they brought same characters. They brought Gold D Rogers storyline back up, so we kind of know because they're now in a new setting. But we want to reset. We got slow and got to the little garden, and then that that amazing last the Laboon art episode, and then obviously Chopper's episode 3-episode arc was awesome. Drum Island. So yeah, so Drum Island by itself A plus plus. So that kind of averaged it all up to like a B plus for me. So yeah, man, we're a fan. So my son, hopefully it won't take 3 years for the next season. Hopefully they're gonna be a little bit faster with this stuff. Because I think people, poor Avatar, Last Airbender. I think that this took his place easily. So I think everybody wants to see, yeah. And then we know what happened to Cowboy Bebop. Been a quick end. So I think this is kind of Netflix shiny armor. This could be another Stranger Things if you think about it, where they can do a live action stuff. They can promote it. The kids, everybody's starting to know the actors. They're young enough. So yeah, man, this could be big. So yeah, as long as the writing strikes. Yeah, they don't have any writing strikes. I don't think they will. I mean, Netflix got more money. They're gonna raise prices again. Netflix, FY. I saw that today. The month, yeah. So they know they got a hit. They see they these jokers. They so happy that they got another hit because Stranger Things went off, and so now everybody's like, yeah. The ending was not that great. So they need some big hits. So they may have one. They may have one in Monkey D. Luffy and the Straw Hats next season. One Piece. All right, Mr. Benja. Anything else?
Hey man, that's all I got for this one. I really want to thank everybody for checking out and seeing this recap. You know, something we haven't done for a while, and we really haven't structured it, but we want to put it out there and make it awesome for you. So if you have any comments, things we left out, things that we should have added, things that we got completely wrong, whatever, let us know. Let us know. Let us know. That means comment. And if you find this entertaining, like it, and we'll know that you like it, and share it and subscribe if it's on your, if it's something that's in your wheelhouse. Good, do that. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Give us that feedback and let us know.
Yeah, please do. Flame us too. We don't care. Give it to us. Yeah. So Mr. Benja said it best. Look, like, subscribe, comment on X Threads, YouTube, and Instagram, Spotify, iTunes. Go listen to us on podcasts. But look, go check us out at website Show versus Business. So Mr. Benja, I'm gonna be the king of the pirates.
Peace, King.